Refer to the following graphs to determine an appropriate response. Which graphs of functions increase over the whole of their domain? And kind of a fun way that I learned to quickly be able to determine whether a function is increasing or decreasing or is constant is to think about like a little ant sitting on our graph. So if we have, I don't know, some ant. Wow, that's really bad. We'll pretend that's an ant, and it's sitting here at the bottom of our function, and what we are going to do is say, is this ant climbing uphill or is it climbing downhill? If the ant is climbing uphill, the graph is increasing. If the ant is climbing downhill, it's decreasing, and if the ant is able to walk on a level surface, then that particular graph is constant. So if we have our ant here, well, if we start at the bottom and he starts climbing, he'll start climbing and the entire climb is all uphill, right? And so this graph is increasing over the whole of its domain. So far we have graph A. Again, if we take, and I'm not going to attempt to draw another ant, I'll just copy him over. So if we put our ant right here on this graph, well, for this part of the graph, he's climbing uphill, right? But if we put him down here and he wants to start climbing, well, now he's climbing down, right? He's going downhill. So for part of this graph, we're increasing on this direction, but here we're decreasing. And so we can't say that graph B increases over its entire domain, over the whole domain. All right, similarly with graph C, if we have an ant, oh goodness, if we have an ant, we can put him at the start here, and as he walks, he's not going up or downhill, right? He's remaining on a flat surface, so he's staying constant. So graph C is not increasing over the whole of its domain. And lastly, if we take our little ant and put him here at the start of this graph, we can see that as he moves forward, he's climbing uphill and will continue to do so over the entirety of this graph. So graph D is also increasing over the whole of its domain. So we'll go ahead and say graphs A and D.